another episode of Forensically Speaking. We have a new guest here today. What you want to go by? You want to go by Rickey?
Just Rickey or Rick, either or. That's me.
No, I always play that scene.
And Boys in the Hood. Yeah, I've been clowning about that all my whole life.
The Rickey scene. So before we go any further, tell the people about yourself. Like, who is Rickey?
Who is Rickey? Well, I guess what do you want to know? I'm Rickey Gray from Shreveport, Louisiana. Born and raised there.
What do you like to do?
I love to cook.
Love to cook.
That's my thing. I love to cook. About to retire from the Air Force. Have 3 children. I have a future wifey on the way. Let's see. I don't know. That's pretty much me.
How did we meet? You want me to give some background, or do you want me to?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I met him on the street, on the corner. I'm just. I met him at our job. I was, actually still currently training him in our current roles, and just training him. And of course, we're going to have dialect. We're going to have conversations. Those conversations were deep, like mind-joggling conversation. Boggling.
Yeah.
Joggling. Mind-boggling conversations. And he would probably say something, I was like, I never thought about that. And then I'll say something, and he'll be like, I never thought about that.
A lot of interesting perspectives.
Right.
Absolutely.
That people would never normally think of. I'm like, you know what? It'd be a good idea to have you come on, to the podcast. These are the conversations I like. This is the conversations that I like for the show. And he was like, okay.
Here I am.
So that's my take of how him and I met. I mean, you have anything else you want to add?
No,
anything
you
that I
just
missed?
summed it up right there. That's it.
Okay, so another aspect about Rickey that stands out to me, you just stopped doing it though.
What's that?
You always smiling. And then he a good cook. Like, he had shown me some of the pictures that he cooked, the videos, and I'm like, I can't wait to taste it, Do you want to tell the people what you're coming out with, what's coming?
Cookbook, and then I want to start a business with a catering business, and doing like small private parties or something like that. Just, hit me up. It's coming soon. You're going to love it.
We did have an interesting conversation the other day. Actually, it was yesterday.
About the
Word admire.
The word admire, absolutely.
And I like to pick brains. Y'all know my degree is in psychology, so I like to have stimulating conversations around things that people are probably afraid to talk about or don't even think about. So I asked him and a friend of mine that we all have lunch together, and I'm like, what is your definition, or have you ever admired somebody? I asked him and I asked her, and they both said yes. And I was just sitting at my desk looking at interviews and other podcasts, and I was just like, this word admire just keep on popping up. And I'm like, have I really admired someone? And then I went a little deep, and I'm like, okay, so the regular admire is a good term. It's a great term. So when someone says, I admire you, you think of good things. But then I started to think about the downside of the word admire, which is like, it was negative. Like, from somebody admiring you, they can become jealous. They can become envious. They can become some nasty traits. So then it's like, okay, so is this word really good? So at lunch, we like head first dived into this conversation on what that word truly meant and how to differentiate. I couldn't say that fast for some reason. when it's good and when it's bad. And Rickey had a great take. I had a great take. I think the conversation was very
thought-provoking.
Intellectual.
It was thought-provoking.
That was. Because what you say? Because I was like, you're emotionally intelligent. That's why you would give that response.
So what I said was, do I think that you can admire someone? I agree with that, but I think that you more so admire traits about a person.
Yep.
You know, there are things that you admire about a person, and maybe you can aspire to want to achieve a certain level of success or whatever it is they have, but you also have to understand that, you know, you don't know how they got there.
That was
you don't know how they got there.
I had piggyback off that, and I said, on the outside it looks good, like, oh, I admire that, but you don't know what they battling behind closed doors. Like, oh, I admire their marriage or her relationship with her mom. I used that for you and Raven, and I said, well, we don't know how bad her mom treats her behind closed doors, and these are all hypotheticals. These are not actual situations, or how he treat his current fiance behind closed doors. We just see what they allow us to see. So we can admire that and then pray and say, God, I want that. And then when he give us that, we trying to figure out why he gave us this plus this negative stuff, because we didn't see that. We didn't know that was a part of it. Yep, that you're right. That was it. That was the other part.
So and so that's why when we in the conversation as it went on, that's why I say, you know, if I see somebody that something I admire about somebody, it could be a couple, I'm going to ask them and say, you know, what's the recipe? Because I know obviously there was a struggle. There was a process, I should say. I don't want to say struggle. I mean, struggle. Process, whatever, right? To get to where they are. And so I'll ask them what the recipe is. But for me, coming from me, I would say that it would be a compliment.
Yeah.
Because I know that obviously you had to get somewhere. You had to go through something to get to where you are. So that's my take on it. And then I think you do have, and I think that it can turn into a negative when you do have people who don't have the emotional intelligence or the emotional maturity, maybe to say that, you know, I really admire that person, but I ain't willing to do what it takes to get to where they are. So, but I'm gonna hate on them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that that's the right way to look at it. But yeah, unfortunately, you have some people like that.
Of course. Well, that's a snippet of the conversations that we have, people. Like, they be going that deep, and we be sitting there, we could talk for hours. Him, me, Raven, and we'll just be going.
They're just chopping it up.
Right.
Yeah.
About things that people don't think about. But that's Mr. Rickey. That's a snapshot of who he is, what he's going to bring. This is not the last time you guys are going to see him. Anything else you want to say to the people?
No, it was nice to meet everybody. I don't know.
Nice to
I don't know.
Nice to meet the camera.
Yeah. but I appreciate you having me. I really do.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Anytime. Like I told you, anytime.
Indeed.
So that's the episode today, you guys. So please remember to like, share, comment, and follow on all platforms at Forensically Speaking. Peace.